Hello, in today's video, I will be sharing with you the health benefits of the Propolis. Healing from the Beehive is a book that I've written a while ago. Today, I'll just be outlining some of its contents. It's not possible in the space of 20 minutes to share its entire content. And from its belly, the belly of the bee, comes forth the fluid of varied hues, which yieldeth medicine for man. And before I proceed, I would like to state that the contents that I'll share in this video is not a substitute or replacement for sound medical advice from your own medical doctor or practitioner. Bees are nature's gift to mankind. Bees are producers of a number of health products, but not all these products confer the same benefits, and they are not all the same. For instance, royal jelly and bee pollen, they have nutritional value. Honey has little nutritional value, but it's a good sweetener. Bee propolis, apart from having some trace amount of amino acids, minerals, and vitamins, has little nutritional value, but it has medicinal value. Royal jelly is the thick, creamy, milky white, nutritionally rich substance produced in the glands of the worker honeybee. And they feed this royal jelly to the queen bee. And that's why the queen bee is the biggest bee in the hive. Benefits include natural stress buffer, and it boosts our vitality when we consume it. Bee pollen are made from bees' choice pollens and contain the highest amount of proteins and nutrients. Benefits is that it increases our alertness, helps our circulation, improves skin, and enhances our stamina and energy. Honey is manufactured by bees from nectar collected from flowers and stored for food. It is of little nutritional value, but it has a greater sweetening power than sucrose, otherwise known as table sugar. Propolis, older worker bees get tree sap and they mix it with their own secretions, and they use this to coat every inch of the internal walls of the beehive to keep it sterilized. As you can imagine, a beehive of this size will have thousands or hundreds of bees living in it, and there will be foreign invaders, foreign bacteria, so they use this to keep it sterilized. It is also a resinous gummy material that helps seals up cracks and holes in the beehive. So, Propolis has been touted as an all-natural antibiotic and healer, assists the body to fight viral, bacterial, and fungal infections. It heals ulcers, soothes the skin, fight coughs and colds, and it boosts our immune system. Bee propolis contains over 180 different biochemical entities, and all these biochemical entities are all needed because they work in synergy and they complement each other's action for therapeutic and medicinal effect. As you know, synthetic drugs made by pharmaceutical companies are often a single biochemical entity. They are isolated, they're manufactured, and then they undergo clinical trials from phase 1 to phase 4 to see whether it's effective and safe. And if it is, and it's registered as a single chemical entity by bodies like the FDA and Ministry of Health, Malaysia, etc. Propolis compounds include a variety of flavonoids, which are believed to give propolis its therapeutic benefits. Flavonoids form the largest biochemical group in propolis, 10 to 20% flavonoid content in propolis. In bee pollen, 0.5%, and in honey, it's negligible. I'll now go into the dozen or so healing properties of the propolis. Firstly, I'll start with its immune boosting capabilities. Flavonoids stimulate the white blood cells into producing interferon. Interferon is a natural protein substance now recognized as central to a healthy immune system. Interferon is known to fight many diseases, and with this substance in the body, there's tremendous resistance to many infections. As you can see in the bottom right, there are pharmaceutical companies that manufacture synthetic versions of interferon, and they're registered, and our doctors will give it to you by injection to boost your immune system. Propolis also provides stimulatory effects since it activates macrophages, substances needed for phagocytic activity. And that means basically the macrophages is one of your first line of immune defense. If they see a foreign bacteria or foreign invader in the blood, they will go there and swallow it up, engulf it and clear it. And secondly, activity of macrophages is also involved with regulating the activity and action of B and T immune cells, key members of the immune system. The second healing property of propolis is its antibacterial properties. And the antibacterial properties of propolis are best known and researched. And it's been attributed to ingredients galangalin, pinosembrin, acacetin, and quercetin. The bottom right is those agar plates where you use to culture bacteria. And if you drop propolis on it, it's been shown to inhibit growth and multiplication of bacteria or certain strains of bacteria. Thereby, propolis helps treat bacteria-related infections such as sore throat, urinary tract infections, sinusitis, and acne. Okay, this is a schematic of a typical sore throat infection. With a sore throat, you may have an weakened immune system, with or without bacterial and viral attacks. And what are the typical symptoms you will have? Fever, sore throat, swelling of the throat, cough, and your throat may be irritable. And what would the doctor or pharmacist prescribe to you? Paracetamol or aspirin, painkiller. They may give you an antibiotic if they feel it's a bacterial infection, cough mixture with antihistamine, or they may just give you an antihistamine tablet if you're having a sinusitis with a runny nose and so forth. B. propolis is a complementary to what the doctors may give you. They are not a replacement. For B. propolis has immune boosting capabilities and as well as antibacterial and antiviral properties. I'll show you later it has aspirin-like action, has anti-inflammatory properties which will help your sore throat, and antibacterial properties which will complement any antibiotics that your doctor has prescribed for you. And it also acts as an anti-allergy substance. The third healing property of propolis is its antiviral properties. Viruses are enclosed in a lipoprotein coat. As long as this coat remains unbroken, the infectious and dangerous material remains imprisoned and is harmless to the infected person. Like, okay, like coronavirus, it's a bit of RNA and it's coated by a protein coat, a lipoprotein coat. The protein coating around the virus is maintained by flavonoids in propolis. So the flavonoids keep the virus inactive. And as a result, it helps treat viral-related infections such as cold and the flu, cold sores and the herpes, and shingles. The fourth property is its anti-allergy properties. Let me tell you what are mast cells. Histamine and serotonin are hormones found in mast cells. When an allergen binds itself to the outside of the cell, these two substances leak out and cause an allergic reaction, such as swelling, itchiness. The trick is to block the leakage of these two substances, and propolis has this property. So propolis stabilizes the mast cells, thereby these two hormones does not leak out to cause all this swelling and redness, as a result of allergy. Cold and flu. So with cold and flu, you may have a weakened immune system with viral attacks. And what are the symptoms again? Fever with the cold and flu, headache, your whole body and muscles are aching. You may have a cough, you may sneeze. And again, what would the doctor give you? Aspirin or paracetamol, Panadol? Well, antibiotics perhaps, because it's not needed if it's a viral infection. Cough mixture with antihistamine, or an antihistamine tablet, which I'm sure you've heard of the word before, antihistamine. There are sedating antihistamines and there are non-sedating antihistamine these days. And propolis, how does that complement the medications the doctors will give you? Well, it is an immune booster. It has anti-flu and antiviral properties. I will later show you that it has aspirin-like action. It's an anti-inflammatory. It boosts your immune system. And as I just showed you in the previous slide, how it stabilizes the mast cells and has anti-allergic properties. So this is how propolis can help your flu condition. The fifth property is its anti-inflammatory properties. They block the same enzyme as aspirin. For example, in a case of a sore throat caused by inflamed and infected mucous membranes, the flavonoids in propolis actually block the building up of prostaglandins, which leads to the swelling, inflammation, and also causes the pain in your throat. And propolis helps treat conditions associated with inflammation, namely the redness, the swelling, and pain, and can be helpful in cases of arthritis, mouth ulcers, and periodontal disease. For instance, in your joints, you may have swelling. Obviously, with swelling comes pain and redness. And if prolonged, it can cause joint stiffness, cannot mobilize it so well. Propolis has antioxidant properties, which will prevent further tissue damage by free radicals. Has anti-inflammatory properties to help the pain and the redness, and heals wound and repairs tissue to prevent further deterioration in the stiffness of the joints. Wound repair and tissue healing. Topical use of propolis preparations are beneficial in the healing of surgical wounds, burns, and ulcers, and I'll later show you how do you apply and administer propolis in those situations. Promotes healing and reduces healing time in wound, cuts, abrasions, ulcers, and bruises. Antifungal properties. Candida albicans yeast infections are common. Affects the skin and mucous membranes, and Candida symptoms can be diverse, such as oral thrush or vaginal Candida infections. And Czech researchers have shown that propolis has an inhibitory effect on Candida albicans as well as fungal organisms responsible for ringworms and tinea. So it can help in situations such as acne, ringworms, eczema, because of its anti-inflammatory properties as well as dermatitis, and because it has wound healing properties as well as antibacterial properties. It's good for wounds, cuts, and abrasion, and psoriasis because of its anti-inflammatory properties. Anti-cancer properties of the propolis. It is being found to be cytotoxic and carcinostatic, means cancer inhibiting effect on tumor cells, which is attributed to its flavonoid, phenolic, and caffeic acid content. Thereby it may be helpful in people with higher risk of cancer, like smokers, for instance. Well, if you smoke, you may have a weakened immune system from the years of chronic smoking and definitely depleted antioxidants in your lungs. Because why? The antioxidants in your lungs is consumed up by all these toxic smoke that you're constantly inhaling. And there may be a buildup of carcinogens and irritants from cigarette smoke build up in your lungs. As a result, smokers are definitely more prone to lung infections. And from the years of smoking, it can cause emphysema or chronic bronchitis. Smokers cough, smokers throat irritation, and this is wrongly written. It should be, it's correct, lung cancer. Smokers are more prone to lung cancer, and that's a fact. So bee propolis has immune boosting properties. It's an antioxidant, thereby it can help smokers. It's antibacterial and antiviral effects, anti-inflammatory properties to counter the slow damage of the lung due to emphysema and chronic bronchitis. It's anti-allergy properties, as I had earlier outlined, and it has anti-cancer properties, which may or may not reduce your risk in lung cancer. And again, I'm not trying to say it's a cure, but it is a good supplement for people who smoke. Antioxidant benefits. Propolis has antioxidant properties due to its high flavonoid content. Liver protection benefits or hepatoprotective benefits, effects of liver is probably due to its antioxidant properties. Propolis is also reported to stimulate a self-cleansing and healing action in the liver. So with people who drink, they may have depleted antioxidants in the liver, and alcohol content overloads the liver metabolism. As a result, drinkers may have more incidents of infections throughout the body, sore throat and discomfort, and this is wrong. It's actually liver cirrhosis. So bee propolis, it has immune boosting properties, antioxidant properties, antibacterial, antiviral properties to help drinkers, aspirin-like actions, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and self-cleansing and healing liver action on the liver, which may help protect your liver. Oral health. Infections and disease of the teeth and mouth. It can help in ulcerations and injuries to the gums or mouth, oral diseases such as leukoplakia, which are precancerous white patches, and in cases of oral candida infections, and it can prevent dental plaque buildup in your mouth, gingivitis, which is infection of the gums, and cavities. Toothaches and gum pain can be relieved by packing the sore tooth and surrounding area with a softened lump of raw propolis. So you just put the raw propolis there. And these days they have propolis with, toothpaste with propolis, because of its many healing properties. Periodontal problems, erosion of gums and tissues that line the pockets of the mouth in which teeth are secured. Inflammation and infectious bleeding may cause weakening of the bone structure and tooth loss. But the bioflavonoids in propolis can stop the inflammation and decay. And again, with your oral health, you may have a weakened oral immunity with bacterial, viral, or even fungal attacks, and some of your gums may be red or swollen. You may get a toothache, tooth decay, sore gum, mouth ulcer. And how big propolis can help you is that as an immune booster, as antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal properties, as aspirin-like action to prevent the redness and swelling, anti-inflammatory properties to counter the toothache, the sore gums, and it is a wound healer and a tissue repairer to heal any ulcers or wounds that may be sustained in your mouth. Okay, folk remedies. Sore lips and gums. Put a few drops of propolis, from a tincture. They have a little pipette, and you put it in half a glass of water and just drink it 3 times a day. Bruises, combine it with honey and apply it directly. Burns, put a few drops of propolis on the affected region. Sore throat, drop directly onto the throat, or put a few drops in a glass of water and gargle it 3 times a day. And then after gargling, you can just drink it down. Skin blemishes, soak a small pad of cotton wool with propolis, smear all over facial spots such as acne and pimples. For corns, coat the area with a thick layer of propolis and cover it with an adhesive bandage. Nasal congestion, take a few drops in a tepid liquid at least 3 times daily. It helps clear nasal infections, decreases nasal secretions, and opens up clogged respiratory passages. Colds, flus, and related ailments such as coughs, colds, tonsillitis, and sinusitis, they're help for that. Skin healing, propolis accelerates tissue regeneration from burns, wounds, ulcers, and dermatitis caused by bacterial, fungal, and other microbial infections. And preventive healthcare, it's good daily use to prevent against cold and flus, common cold and common flu. And in conclusion, propolis is a substance taken from resins of selected trees and plants. It's used to protect and purify the beehive. Modern scientists have now isolated many of its extensive benefits for health and well-being. I thank you for listening. I hope that has been helpful. It's by no means comprehensive. And again, I'd like to remind you that this video is not a substitute for medical advice. Please consult your own doctor first for any ailments. Thank you.